Hey guys, welcome back. Today on The Untidy Artist, I'll be showing you how I made this beautiful January fairy doll. This is the second doll in my Fairy of the Month series. If you missed my first doll, you can find the December fairy doll on my YouTube channel. I'll also add a link below. If you're new to making fairies with me, welcome. And if you've been around for a while, I hope you enjoy this tutorial and learn some new things with this fairy doll. So let's grab some supplies and get started. Now the first things you're going to need are obviously some flowers. I found this gold flower and immediately knew I wanted to use it in my January fairy doll. I love that some of these petals have gold glitter on them, some are shiny and a little bit metallic gold. I just thought it was very glamorous and really, really beautiful. And then I also have this black flower, and I loved the ruffled petals on this. I knew I wanted the dress to be black and gold. I wanted her to be very glamorous. And so we'll also be using some gold thread, some silver thread, and then I have some metallic black thread that we'll also be using. I will put links for all of these items below. And then we have some different things that we'll be using to decorate our doll. So I found this fabric trim. It's black, it's a little bit metallic, and I loved how it kind of looked like feathers. I've got some black and silver rickrack that I'll be using, and these little gold bows. I actually found these on clearance in the Christmas section at Michael's, and I thought it would be a fun addition to her skirt. I've got my sharp scissors, and of course, my trusty glue gun set on low. And then last but not least, we have our fairy doll. Now, like I said, if you're new to making fairies with me, you'll want to check out my basic fairy doll tutorial. In that, I teach you how to take a piece of floral wire, a wooden bead, and some embroidery floss, and twist it into this cute little doll. Now, you can see I've already gone ahead and done her hair. I decided to give her a kind of sassy ponytail. And so I'll put the link for the hair tutorial below as well. You can obviously style her hair however you'd like. I do have a lot of different ways that you can style doll's hair on my YouTube channel, such as curly hair or some different twisted updos. And then once again, that basic way to do her hair will be in the basic fairy doll tutorial, which will be linked below. Okay, first step, grab your black thread and dress your doll. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to wrap it right underneath her arms, and give her a little pair of shorts. And then I'm actually going to set her aside, and we're going to grab our flowers and we're going to pull them apart. I always like to make sure when I'm picking out flowers for fairy dolls that I check to see if the petals are held together with a lot of glue. If they are, the flowers will be really hard to work with, so look for flowers that don't have a lot of glue holding them together. So I just pull both of my flowers completely apart. And then I'm going to start layering the petals together and decide for her skirt. So I kind of just lay them together in different ways. And every once in a while, I'll grab my doll and hold the petals up to her to see what the skirt's gonna look like. I knew that with this dress, I wanted the black to be on the top and I wanted the gold to be peeking out from underneath. So I do spend a lot of time kind of picking over the flowers and layering them together in different ways until you get it the way that you want the dress to lay. And then I hold them up to my doll, and when I like how they're laying, I'm going to take each petal, grab my scissors, and cut a little X into the center of each flower petal. This will allow us to slip the flower petals up and around her waist for our skirt. So I start with the top layers of her skirt, sliding them up around her waist, and then I'm going to continue doing that with the rest of the flower petals. And as I'm going, I like to kind of arrange the petals so they're not all overlapping directly on top of each other, but so they alternate a little bit to give her a nice, full, fluffy skirt. And then I'm going to grab my glue gun, and I'm going to start using little dabs of glue between the layers of the petals, and this is going to secure her skirt in place. So I start with each layer of petals, little dabs of glue, and I do it in the front and in the back. I do spend a lot of time with this part, making sure that I like the way that her skirt is laying. And I just love the gold underneath. I thought this was so pretty, and that little addition of the glitter on some of those gold petals underneath. And I'm already in love with this doll. Okay, so now we're going to give her some gold gloves. So I'm taking my gold thread and I'm just wrapping it up to just above where her elbow would be to give her some glamorous gold gloves. And then I decided she needed some high black boots. So I'm going to grab the same black thread that we used to dress her, and I'm going to give her some boots. Then I'm going to grab my rickrack and I'm going to add some right around her waist. So I'm going to just cut a small piece of the rickrack. I'm going to take my glue gun and put a little dab of glue right in the front and secure down the front of the rickrack. Use tiny dabs of glue as you go, work slowly, and then I'm going to wrap the rickrack around her waist, once again using small dabs of glue to hold it into place, and then I cut off the extra in the back. Now you can see as I was putting the glue on, a lot of glue ended up showing on the black. I find that the glue from the glue gun, if it gets on the petals, especially black petals, it shows up. So one of my favorite tricks is to take my hairdryer on high and you just blast your hairdryer on the parts that you want that you got too much glue, and it will make it kind of disappear. So I used my hairdryer, got rid of the excess glue that was around her waist. Then I'm going to grab this pretty gold bow and I'm going to put it right at the base of her dress. So right in the back, right at her waist. Small dab of glue. I'm going to lay down that bow and I hold it down for a minute, actually a few seconds, and then I flip her to the front to make sure that it looks pretty from the front as well. And I really loved how the gold bow just added that extra bling to this dress. And the last thing we have to do is to add a few embellishments to her hair. So I'm going to take that feathery looking fabric trim, the gold and the silver thread, and I'm going to twist them together. Now this was a little tricky. What I ended up doing is tying a knot in one end, twisting it, and then you have to hold it. If you let go of it, obviously it untwists. So I twisted it really tight. I added a little dab of glue to the end that didn't have the knot. And then we're going to tie it around her ponytail. So I take my glue gun, I add a little dab of glue to the top of her ponytail. I'm going to take that twisted thread and just lay it down against the glue and hold it for a few seconds until it sets. And then I'm going to tie it in the back and then wrap it around one more time and tie it again. So once you've tied that off in a double knot, I decided to leave one section of the ends hanging down because I thought it looked really pretty. And then I cut off the straggly ends that had the tied knot. And that's it, guys. We're all set. The second doll in the Fairy of the Month series is done. I love how she turned out. I love her purple hair. I would secretly love to have hair this color, although I don't know if I could pull it off. I just thought she was different and fun and very glamorous and a good way to start 2020. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those below. I'm excited to start on the February doll of the month. If you guys have any other suggestions for other fairy dolls you'd like to see, please post those below. If you're not following me on Instagram, please do. That's where you'll find the current projects I'm working on. Also, if you'd like to share some fairy dolls, you can do that on Instagram and tag it, #UntidyArtistFairydoll. And thanks so much, you guys, for all of your support. We'll see you next time.